What is up, Internet? It is I again, that guy again, and today we're going to be diving into the heart of Kingdom Hearts' camera. Out of all the games in the series, Kingdom Hearts 1's camera is the most notorious among the player base. As Sora fights against the Heartless, the player fights the camera. Nonetheless, for a first game in a series, it's not too bad, and aside, at least on modern versions of the game, we don't have to use the bumpers to move the camera like in the PS2 days. The camera used in Kingdom Hearts is quite versatile actually, with a plethora of camera styles for the game to choose from depending on what it wants to show us. Internally, the game uses a 4-byte integer to store the camera style that it's currently using. When the game goes to actually render a frame, it has to check the current camera style and execute code unique to that style to properly transform the camera. When we say transform the camera, you might be scratching your head. Transformers didn't make it into Kingdom Hearts 4, did they, you might ask? Transformation, in geometrical terms, means the translation, scale, and rotation of an object. Essentially, we're just positioning the camera, rotating it to face what we want to see, and resizing it if needed. We don't usually resize cameras, but the positioning and the rotation are very important. The differences in the camera styles lie entirely in the way that the game transforms the camera on a per-frame basis. For example, Camera Style 0 applies no transformations to the camera. This is the camera used for cutscenes in the game, and it disables any inputs from reaching the camera, but still lets the game manually move the camera as the cutscene plays. The normal camera style is Camera Style 1. This camera style is the first of many to use another value, known as the camera target pointer. A brief explanation of pointers for those not initiated into black magic is that they're just a type of data that references another data piece entirely. It just points over to something else, right? The camera target pointer, specifically, is meant to point to Sora's entity, so the camera can find Sora's position and rotation to keep him on the screen. Camera Style 1 has to follow Sora, and to follow something you need to know where it's at. We're just going to call this Sora for now, since it's always going to be Sora in normal gameplay. Camera Style 2 is used to refer to first-person mode. It uses the same camera target pointer as before to put the camera at Sora's center position and to make Sora's entity invisible. This is what it would look like if it didn't make Sora's entity invisible. Camera Style 3 is used when you've locked onto your enemies. This camera is basically just the first style, but it keeps a focus on both Sora and the entity you've locked onto. It's a major part of why locking on is so useful in this game, especially for PS2 players. Camera Styles 4, 5, 6, and 8 are special angles that transition into Camera Style 1. We can only see these styles now due to a hack preventing the game from transitioning to that style. 4 and 6 are also the same angle, focused directly behind Sora's head. 5 is similar, but tilts the camera downward slightly. Camera Style 8 instead actually faces Sora, kind of like a rear view mirror. This angle is actually also really good for getting dizzy. Camera Style 7 is an odd, unused camera style that centers in on the origin of the room that you're in. There is no way to move or rotate the camera from this position, and it's only really useful for making things look glitchy or finding the center of a room. Camera Style 9 is a fixed angle camera, which has different angles depending on the room that you're in. Usually, if you can't move the camera in a certain area, you're in Camera Style 9. This is usually used for tight corners and helps with preventing the camera from getting stuck on walls or stuck behind geometry that it shouldn't be. Camera Style 10 is my personal favorite. This is actually the overhead camera style that you only see in one room of the 100 Acre Wood, but if you use it in other rooms, it's actually pretty functional for the most part. The only issue is that it can very easily get obscured if Sora goes under any ceilings or next to any tricky walls, but aside from those issues, it's actually pretty fun to play with. Camera Style 11 is an entirely unused version of the first-person mode that actually allows Sora to move. It's very limited, however, as you can only turn left or right, walk forward, or jump. There's no going backwards on this boat. But for some reason, square being held also causes Sora to start looking up. So, in addition to the usual glide, block, or dodge roll, you're also just going to be looking at the ceiling, which could be kind of disorienting. Aside from novelty, it doesn't feel that usable unless someone decided to mod that quirk out. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. If you want more content like this, like or comment so I know, or check out one of these other wild videos on screen. Remember, your today isn't your tomorrow, and have a good day.